In the previous lesson, we have seen how you can search data using queries. Now you can see how you can use queries in order to set data that can be visualized over time, over and over, without doing any manual work. We start in the portal, and the first thing that you are going to do is to set something on our dashboard. When we click it by the first time, it's going to be empty. It gives you a few instructions how you can add some information, and let's see how I can do that. So the first I click the customize, and I can use one of the queries that are already existing, so I don't have to write them myself, or I could write my own. For example, if I want all events, I just need to drag and drop, and this is going to show automatically on my dashboard the events that have occurred lately. So you can see here a chart and a counter with all the events. You can have as many as you want, so drag at will. There is no IS, so there are no entries here, but we can have, for example, and the distribution of data type. So as you can see, with just a few clicks, I've added some saved queries that already exist on the system. I didn't write them, but I could, for example, add my query that I've saved previously. And we can see here that I can add to my dashboard all the tiles that I want based on queries. So it's an easy way to show data in a format that I previously decided, so I don't have to write queries manually or use saved queries, so I can see them visually with a lot of information, different information at the same time. If I click on the tile, I will be directed to a query that feeds the data of the tile, and I can use it to drill down or do extra information, whatever I want. Another way of adding information to your workspace is through tiles. Typically, there are two ways of adding information to your overview page, which is this one, is to use solutions. For example, you can see here that there are two tiles contributed by the Agent Health solution that we've installed previously. If you want to add out of the visualizations, we can go to the gallery, and for example, let's select one of them, and for example, we can see our Office 365 analytics. I will do an add. This takes a few time to add, so adding this, I'm going to show only the tile. The tile is empty because it requires extra configuration. Some solutions may add tiles that require configuration, others do not. And if I click here, I could add my own. I could configure this solution, and after a few hours or whatever the solution takes, depends on the solution, you would start feeding information into your home overview. But perhaps I want not to use solutions that have pre-canned tiles, but I want to add my own. And I can also do that using the View Designer. There is a tile here that says that I create my own views on the designer, or I can just create here on the plus sign, which is the View Designer. When you create the View Designer, you do it in two ways. First, you need to define what the tile contains. For that, you drag and drop one of kind of tiles that exists, for example, a number that shows a counter, or two numbers, or a donut that shows a distribution, or graphs, or charts, or whatever you want. So let's just add a number, and I can give it a name. I will say types of events, for example, because this is the default query that has been added. You can see here that is getting all information from the repository and is grouping the data by type with a counter. So we can see here that we have five types of data. We could write our own query, or let's just accept this one and close it. the tile is not enough for the data that is going to be on the system. If you want, and you need to, it's more than you need than if you want, you can also define the view. The view represents what will be shown when you click on the tile on the overview. Then you will be redirected to another page that shows the details of that tile. And for that, you can drag as many types as you want. For example, I will drag this one, a number in the list. And by default, it has added two queries. The first one on the tile represents all the computers that we have. So we are grouping by computer type. And then the query will show that list also. So since there is a number, it will show the number of results. And on the list, it will show, grouped by the computer name, the number of elements that for each we have information. So let's accept this one. We will say apply. And for example, we may want to add a list of queries that show, for example, let's say extra or related queries, and we could write our own queries here in order to add more information. This is only informational. It doesn't show any data, but if you click on the queries, you will be moved to the query search with that query itself. So it's typically used for informational queries that you want to add if people want to research more information based on what is on screen. I will remove this one. I could drag more and more. I could use the preview, for example. I could add a title, and I could put here an image, etc., more info with a link, and I put here some markdown with some help. Define content. So let's go to apply. And now we are ready to save our information. You can see here, now the information is here on the tile. We have 5 types of events, and if we click on the tile, it will be redirected to the detail where you can see the tiles that we also had. You can see here, this is the fine content that I've added, all the header, the list, the header and the list. And if you click here, you'll be redirected to the search to see all the results for the computer, since this is what have been created. As you can see, it's very easy to add information either to your dashboard or to the overview for the workspace in order to have a lot of information summarized at a glance. So you don't need to continuously looking for information if you just want to show some summarized information in a structured way that can be seen by anyone. And if they want to get more details, they can then click on it, get extra details, and either go to see the queries that executed, that generated those details, and then use it to investigate further if needed.